What's up, everybody? I'm Zero Zeus, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video. So this is going to be my Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 53 review. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you for watching, and let's get right into the video. Um, this is actually a crazy chapter. Just being the fact, first of all, my boy Piccolo has been getting that shine these last few chapters, and you know, as a person when I was younger, I didn't really like Piccolo and the others as much as like Goku and Vegeta and stuff like that. And I've rewatched the series multiple times, and I have like a crazy level of respect for these characters now. So it's really cool to actually see like Piccolo and people like Krillin and stuff involved, even though they just didn't seem to want to involve Yamcha for whatever reason. But whatever. Um, so basically, the chapter starts off like we said, like last month. They ended off. I think it's the Macaroni Gang. I think that's how you say it. Piccolo and others basically. Well, Piccolo, he basically disbanded them, and they're locked up. They're locked up basically. And it's like it's crazy because they're just holding them. They're just holding them up there at the lookout, right? And they're just walking around and talking. Like I didn't even notice at first that they were. You wouldn't even notice they were there, right? That was kind of funny. Um, but they're talking to Jocko, it's Bulma, everybody basically. Jocko comes there, and I cannot remember which one of the Namekians that he brought, but it just so happens that there's only 3 Namekians in the universe. That is crazy. That is crazy. I don't know. I knew like a lot of them got wiped out, but it's like they're basically extinct. That's crazy. Dang, Piccolo. Um, so and like I guess Dende he knows. I, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I thought he. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little confused, so I'm not even gonna speak on it. But basically it's an Namekian that Dende knows, and they're basically having a little reunion, and they're getting the rundown of what's basically gonna happen, and you hear like Krillin like, oh man, it's like that's a lot to lay on a person, and it's like, well, it's funny because Bowman was acting like, well, I had to get Krillin, it's not like he had anything else going on, right? And you just see Krillin with that little look on his face, like, well, it's not like I had that much free time, right? It was just really funny. And they're basically explaining Moro, the situation, the Galactic Patrol, and so on and so forth. So then you get this moment where the Macaroni Gang, I hope I'm saying that right, because I don't remember any of their names besides 7-3. That's the only person I remember. So the guys are basically telling them, like, oh, well, you think it's all fun and games now, but eventually they'll send out another squad and they're going to come pick us up and they're going to save us in like a few days. And it's funny because they start to mention the people in that squad, and it's like 7-3, like I said before. I can't think of the little guy's name. It was something weird, and they had like this big, I don't know, kung fu panda looking guy with him. And all those other guys really don't matter. Who really matters is 7-3. Basically, he has the power to copy anybody's powers for 30 minutes, which that is a really long time. And the fact that he's supposedly already powerful already. And he can do this on top of that. And he can use your own powers against you for 30 minutes. And the powers will be just as powerful as yours. It's not like he'll be weak with it. So it's funny because as they're talking about it, as soon as they get finished talking about it, they cut to a couple of panels of the guys that they were basically talking about, 7-3, and it's this guy. He had this really funny name, and I just cannot remember it. Like, but and they're basically talking and stuff about going to Earth, and the big guys talking about food and how they've been eating these bars ever since they left prison and stuff, and like he wants some real snacks, right? And it's estimated that it will take them days to get to Earth, right? So cut back to Earth, and Piccolo and everybody's still talking, and basically somebody has the power to jump through like portals or something. Somebody can do that, and because somebody, I don't know, somehow 7-3 gets the power to do it, and so they just jump and they're right there on the lookout. They just come there right in the middle of the conversation and just like, I think right before they mentioned it, they were like, they just told Piccolo about how the guy would steal his powers, which is crazy, right? And how crazy powerful he was. It's something that I'm really missing. I swear it is, but they just came out of nowhere. So basically, they just initiate the fight, and not really. They first off they point Jocko. They point out Jocko, and the other guys are like, I don't really know you by name, but the guy 7-3, he knows him by name. He knows him by name because he just has all the little intel for whatever reason. Like, he's a really cool character. Out of all those other guys, I feel like all those other guys are like background. The 7-3, he's really cool. Looks like Hit. He's like an artificial being, obviously. I guess on some planet they like put him together. He has infinite endurance and he can copy anybody's move, and on top of it he's powerful already. This is like a crazy character, right? um Basically the guy tries, the little guy, can't think of his name. He has a really funny name, but he tries to attack Jocko, I think, and Piccolo stops him. And at this moment 7-3 just like teleports behind him. He teleports behind him. He touches him on the back of the neck. Next thing you know, he teleports in front of him and he's shooting his special beam cannon. And just as I said before, it's just as destructive as Piccolo's special beam cannon. So it's something to watch out for. So they're basically just going back and forth and just going at it. Like, you get to see 7-3 use every ability that you see Piccolo has. Like, the stretchy hands, like the special beam cannon. I think they even do the demon wave. I don't know. I think that's definitely not the name of that. But they multiple attacks that are out of Piccolo's arsenal used against him, and he's using against him. And it's just really crazy. Like I said, it's nice to see Piccolo get a little bit of shine. And, even though I think Krillin is actually in the middle of the fight with the big guy, and it just turns out that Jocko got like kicked off of the lookout somehow. And so basically Piccolo goes after him, and not knowing that he has like little jet boots and he can fly for little bursts at a time. And, so it's just a little way to move them away from the lookout, because like Piccolo said, there's no killing in the sanctuary, even though clearly people have done that before, but whatever. Um, the fight continues, the fight ensues, and basically it just comes down to Piccolo cannot handle 7-3. That's what is looking like. And he probably would have been in a better position had Jocko gave him better information earlier on in the fight. He probably would have known to carry himself a different way, but Um, so basically, it's looking like it's over with Piccolo. They're having like this special beam cannon clash. It's like really cool, and he's saying he doesn't think he can win. And at the moment when I guess 7-3 special beam cannon overtakes his and is about to disintegrate Piccolo, basically, Gohan swoops in and he saves him. And Gohan was like at like a college. I don't know, something dealing with college. He was doing something dealing with school. Um, but he showed up in the nick of time, and he's basically just like shocked because he didn't know all this was going on. I know he knew about the meeting, but I'm pretty sure he didn't know all of this was gonna be happening. And basically, Piccolo tells him not to let him touch him on the back of the neck, stuff like that. And Piccolo looks at him and tells him basically, "You're the strongest fighter we have on Earth." And I like how they do that because they're like explaining to you next to Vegeta and Goku, Gohan is still right there. Like, even though they try to make him look super whack sometimes, like, he's still a savage. He's still a savage. He has his moments. Like, and we're about to see one of them. 7-3 versus Gohan. It's gonna be crazy if he takes Gohan's powers and use it against him. I was talking to somebody and they were just like, "Oh, well, what would be so crazy? So if he took Gohan's powers, could he like turn to a Super Saiyan or something like that? That'd be crazy, right? I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do that, but if they did, it'd be crazy, right? So basically, that's where this ends off. Next, we have like the last 3 pages of the manga chapter dealing with Goku. They say nothing about Vegeta. Vegeta's like barely mentioned. You see like at least 3 panels of Vegeta. It's just like I'm kind of just salty just because of the fact that they did not include them at all. Anything going on with them with their story. Don't get me wrong, hype about the Piccolo stuff. That's really cool, but we still want to know what's going on with Goku and Vegeta. And so they cut to the panel where Goku's fighting Mirrors. He's continuously having a hard time, just like how he was last chapter. Um, Mirrors is, and Goku's basically saying like, well, I don't think I'll ever be able to tap into Ultra Instinct again. Like he doesn't think he'll be able to do it, and Mirrors comes to the assumption that he can't do it because the last time that he did it, he was so close to death. So Mirrors has to come at Goku like he's planning to kill him to push him to that point, or he will never be able to use Ultra Instinct. So we get to see that things are actually turning up with the training, but we don't get anything else further than that. And so maybe next chapter I deal with like Goku and Vegeta and what they have going on, because it just kind of seems like it's getting dragged on, like they're doing it on purpose or something. But the last page is actually Vegeta, right? And Vegeta's sitting on top of he's sitting on top of this pole, and he's basically meditating, and it just the first thing you think of is like the sage training Naruto, and he's training to get Sage mode, right? This is the first thing I think about. And the guys are basically telling him like, oh well, your concentration was interrupted again. And but basically the reason why his concentration was interrupted is because the guy tells him is like, oh, it took Goku 150 days to master this, right? And Vegeta's just looking like, well, I just like wasted all this time for no reason, right? And that's like the end of the manga chapter, man. So it's kind of let down. You don't really get to see what's going on with Goku and Vegeta like that. But hey, man, gotta get what we can take every month, right? Um, but anyway, this is the end of the video. This has been my Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 53 review. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you for watching. See you all.